What's up, Toonami faithful? Time for another night. If you're new to the show, welcome. Keep it down from the beginning. All I can say is thanks. You guys ready to make the magic happen? All right, boys, let's do this. Nagawa Sanfa. Showtime. Vera, how you been?
All right, Tom. We're ready.
Happy birthday to us.
Kids love it.
Toonami, an action animation cartoon block that originally aired on Cartoon Network starting on March 17th of 1997 and went off the air on September 20th, 2008. Then, 4 years later, returned to television on Adult Swim as an April Fool's stunt in April of 2012. And with the outpour of appreciation, support, and demand, Toonami fully came back on the air through Adult Swim starting May 26, 2012. The blog became well known for anime like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Naruto, and Gundam, but would be sure to include American cartoons like Justice League, Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, the Powerpuff Girls, and Megas XLR. Alongside these shows are iconic bumps, speeches, music videos, and promos that would leave a major impact on its audience for how well edited they were and the music backing each of them. This giving the block an impression of respect for not just its audience, but also the shows they were airing. I want to take the time to talk about how this after-school turned Saturday night action animation block has impacted me personally and creatively. I want to do so by continuing the trend started a few years ago on YouTube by people like Movies with Mikey from the YouTube channel FilmJoy with Lessons Animation Taught Us. Toonami definitely had a lot of lessons over the years, but there was only one that truly ingrained itself into me, and it was by accident. When it comes to the early days of Toonami on Cartoon Network, it really was just an after-school block that I enjoyed watching. I, of course, saw the motivational and introspective speeches and music videos they would air from time to time, but I never really gave them that much attention. I just thought they were cool and didn't really give them a second thought. I definitely would have my favorite shows come out of Toonami. Obviously, I'm a fan of DBZ and Naruto, but I also enjoyed Sailor Moon, IGPX, Justice League Unlimited, Megas XLR, and Zatch Bell. I probably would have enjoyed shows like Mare and Prince of Tennis, but the Toonami broadcast skipped episodes, which made it hard to really get into them. They probably skipped the episodes since these shows were more of a promotion for Toonami Jetstream that was exclusively streaming other shows like Hikaru no Go and Kiba. My favorite promo during Toonami's initial run on Cartoon Network would end up becoming what is referred to as the Naruto Long promo, which used the track Dust Bowl by Treva Whatever. The edits, sound effects, and music were all hype, and I would watch Cartoon Network hoping for this promo to air again, also that I could jam to it. As a small tangent, since I mentioned Sailor Moon, I actually have an older cousin who was super into Sailor Moon back in the 90s and early 2000s. I remembered that she had physical media releases of Sailor Moon that I would watch whenever she babysat me. I think she even had some of the releases that contained the original Japanese audio. Anyway, she recently had a little girl and named her Serena. She even adorned her child's room with a poster of Sailor Moon. I called her out on it and she confirmed it was the reason why she named her baby girl Serena. I don't remember if I did have a group of friends that were as interested in Toonami and its shows like I was, but I do know that the shows would come up in conversation from time to time. I definitely had friends who were really into Bleach on Adult Swim. One of them even tried making Ichigo's hollow mask as one of their emblems for the first Call of Duty Black Ops video game. I ended up making a Kingdom Hearts emblem with the Oblivion and Kingdom Keyblades, if you're curious. Back to the topic at hand. Toonami was definitely important to me during these early years on Cartoon Network. I wouldn't realize how important because of how I mainly focused on the shows. Somewhere within 2006 to 2008 is where I would stop tuning in as often as I used to. I just wasn't as into the shows being aired. Like, I remember Blue Dragon, Fantastic Four, and a few others, but they just didn't grab me. Hell, Bobobo back then was a real turnoff for me because I just couldn't stand how weird it was. Eventually, as mentioned at the start of this video, Toonami would come to an end on Cartoon Network on September 20th, 2008, 2 days after my birthday. When Toonami aired its final broadcast that day and I saw Tom Ford saying his farewell, I was in complete disbelief. My denial was so strong, I tuned into Cartoon Network on Saturday nights for the next month, hoping to see Toonami again. Despite some of the Toonami shows like Naruto still being retained, Tom and Toonami's packaging never appeared. I knew that I had not been tuning in as much as I had before through late 2007 and 2008. So I ended up blaming myself for Toonami leaving. I felt as though I didn't treat the block well enough and it ended up going away because of me. My group of friends had already fallen off of it before I started doing the same. So it really felt like it was my fault because I didn't support it as much as I should have. Of course, this is a ridiculous thing to attribute to myself. But understand that I was still a teenager in high school, a socially awkward, introverted teenager who doesn't understand how TV networks work, so it should be understandable why I felt that way. I ended up internalizing that belief, the belief that I did not properly support that which I cared about, and it ended up going away. I would still get to watch anime on Adult Swim through Adult Swim Action, but I would find myself not tuning in as much over the years, just like what happened with Toonami. Suddenly, in the middle of April of 2012, almost 4 years later, I had an urge to start watching old Toonami bumps, promos, and music videos on YouTube. I was lost in a sea of nostalgia, until I saw a comment saying that Toonami had come back on the air for April Fools earlier that very month. I instantly looked up what was going on. Found out there was a Twitter movement calling for Toonami to come back on the air that Adult Swim's own social media account was also calling us to action for. I made sure I was a part of it, and when Adult Swim had announced that Toonami was officially returning beginning on May 26th, I was elated. I even remember where I was. I was on break at my part-time job. I saw the announcement on Twitter and yelled about my excitement. I made sure to tune in and got to see their new lineup, which included new acquisitions with Dead Man Wonderland and Cash Earned Sins. They didn't give these new shows their own promos initially before the official broadcast, and there really wasn't that much promotion for the new Toonami outside of the block until fans started calling for them to do so. There really was a lot of outcry at the time for Adult Swim to promote Toonami during other days of the week outside of Saturday nights during the block. The Toonami crew would start including hashtags in their bumps for show titles shortly after their relaunch. So I, and many others, started live tweeting the broadcast every Saturday night. I also quickly became aware of the Toonami Faithful podcast and showed my support by donating to their promoted causes that also got me the chance to come on their podcast. I even participated in their call to action about purchasing the physical release of Dead Man Wonderland to help drive interest in the potential second season that never came to be. This helped to kickstart my own anime DVD and Blu-ray collection that I'm still building. I still keep up with that stuff. Even though I'm not appearing on the Toonami Faithful podcast as much as I used to, I occasionally come up with a topic for the podcast every now and then. I've gotten new favorite shows in Black Lagoon, Hellsing Ultimate, Space Dandy, Hunter x Hunter, Food Wars of all things, and Assassination Classroom. My favorite music video they've put out for this new iteration of Toonami is actually a tie between Get Busy Living and Live to the Fullest. Favorite promos for Evangelion 2.22. I think the tie they did with Countdown is the best so far. I massively look forward to what Toonami will have for us in the future. Please air Ruby, or at least Ruby Ice Queendom. And now, I feel like expressing what Toonami means to me and the place I think it has in the current media landscape. What Toonami taught me is to support the things I care about and to show that care in any way I can, which is what my fan trailers, music videos, and promos are all about. Toonami helped distinguish my tastes in music and appreciate genres that I didn't before. Toonami, along with Ruby, is what inspires me to express myself and explore my creativity. Most importantly, Toonami helped me become a part of a community and make new friends I never would have made if it didn't come back on the air. Toonami coming back also made me more comfortable with talking about my interests with other people. The way I see Toonami nowadays is as a live stream, which I think is its purest form. Toonami is an event every week, or just about. You tune in to see what it has to present to you each night, be it a speech, promo, special, or even a music video from one of the artists they've partnered with over the years. Toonami has cultivated a community of faithful that tune in each week and discuss the block with others that are doing the same. You don't have to watch the entire night stream, but just coming in, seeing what other people are saying about the shows, bumps, and whatnot, and then joining in to do the same can be quite the fulfilling experience, because it is all of us showing our support for that which has impacted our lives so positively well. To the Toonami crew, here's to 25 years. Congratulations on achieving another 10 on Adult Swim. You guys helped make something that was basically for entertaining children, but made it so those kids would be able to take something with them into their adult lives. Thank you. Now, before I end this video, I want to ask a set of questions for those who are still watching. What is your favorite thing about Toonami? What are some of your favorite shows? What are the music videos, speeches, and other bumps that have left an impact on you? What lessons did you take away from Toonami over the years? What other animated media out there have you experienced that left an impact on you like Toonami did for me? Please let me know in the comments below.